Welcome to Newswatch, where we bring you news making headlines on this last Thursday of November 2023. My name is Melissa Oduor. On the sign language is Boniface Mureithi. Newswatch begins now. 1.2 million committed Kenyans participating in the Financial Inclusion Fund, also known as the Hustlers Fund, are expected to get a boost of 50% on their long-term savings. According to President William Ruto, under the fund, 5% of each loan is directed to savings, 70% for long-term savings, and 30% for short-term savings. While presiding over the Hustlers Fund first anniversary celebrations in Nairobi, President William Ruto revealed that loan limits will be increased for committed Kenyans participating in the funding scheme. Our very own Gloria Musimbi begins our bulletin tonight.
As the government celebrates 1 year since the launch of the Hustler Fund, an initiative spearheaded by President William Ruto, the latest data released by the government shows that out of 50 billion shillings offered under the fund, 39.5 billion shillings has been disbursed in a total of 52 million shilling transactions. Speaking during the Hustler Fund anniversary celebrations, President Ruto announced that 1.2 million committed Kenyans who have been participating in the Financial Inclusion Fund will get a boost of 50% to their long-term savings.
Kama umekopa mara 5 na umeweka akiba, umekopa mara 5, na niliwaambia limit ya juu ni shilingi 6,000. Yule wa juu zaidi tutam compensate at 6,000. If you have saved 6,000, we are going to give you 3,000. If you have saved less, we are going to give you equivalent or a matching of what you have saved.
Under the fund, 5% of every loan is directed towards saving, 70% to long-term and 30% to short-term savings. Speaking separately, a cross-section of Kenyans expressed their satisfaction towards the Hustler Fund, noting that the low interest rates have given them the opportunity to start a business, pay debts quickly and cover their needs.
Ilianza na 500, saisi limit imekuwa kiasi na imenisaidia kwa sababu saa nyingine nimekwama, ninachukua moja kwa moja, ninainua biashara na pia ninalipa na ninangoja. Unajua biashara ni unafika mahali biashara inarudi chini. So unajaribu kutafuta mahali utapata pesa, unaona imekuwa ngumu kulingana na hali ya economy vile iko saa hii.
Uzuri wake huwa interest ni kidogo na hukimbizi, mahali tu utapata pesa utalipia, inazaa kidogo, unaweza, yani interest si kubwa, hata kama iko interest unaweza lipa na uendelee na biashara na uendelee kuongezewa pesa. Kwa hivyo inasaidia sana. Kwa hivyo wa biashara, wafanya biashara chini, tunaenda tukiinuka.
Nimekopa kwa Hustler Fund. So nikakuja nikanunua trolley. So alinipea 5k. Ilikuwa limit yangu. Yeah. So nikakopa. So sahi vile trolley yangu vile iko. So sahi niko na trolley mbili. Yeah. So vile amesema mkubwa, vile Your Excellency amesema rais anaongezea, nashukuru sana. So sasa ndachukua tena.
President Ruto has assured that his administration has upscaled its effort in job creation opportunities, which he said has played a vital role towards that end.
Katika taifa letu la Kenya, mwaka mmoja baadaye, Wakenya 120,000 wanafanya kazi katika mpango wetu wa housing development katika Republic ya Kenya. Mimi nasema hivi, kuna wale architects wanafanya kazi, kuna engineers wanafanya kazi, kuna masons, kuna artisans, kuna electricians, kuna plumbers, kuna accountants wanafanya kazi kule katika kampuni ambazo wanaleta simiti na chuma.
While highlighting the issue of harassment of vendors in Nairobi Central Business District, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has called on county governors not to be harsh on hawkers, urging them to give hawkers a chance to do their business on the streets.
Mimi naomba viongozi wale ambaye tumechaguliwa tuwapende hao mahasala vile tuliwapenda wakitupigia kura. The sight of these hustlers should not irritate anybody. we should love them the way we loved them wakipiga laini kutupigia kura. And we want to urge our county governments not to be pushed na watu wengine wale wako na mali matajiri kusukuma hao mahasola.
The remarks by the DP comes after the Nairobi County law enforcers, popularly known as Kanjo, have been on the spot over the harassment of hawkers in the CBD. Reporting for OpTV Newswatch, I'm Gloria Musimbi.
Thank you, Gloria, for that report. Now, 16 more people have died from the El Niño rains, bringing the death toll from the heavy rains to 136. According to the National El Niño Emergency and Disaster Response Command Center, the new deaths were reported in the last 24 hours. However, the number of displaced households remains the same at 92,432. Meanwhile, the real cases have been reported in Lamu, Garissa, Kwale, Mandera and Wajir counties, with mosquito nets now being distributed in Isiolo. The command center further reports that food distribution across counties, including airdrops to areas that are inaccessible, continues, with 10 tons of food dropped this morning in Wajir. The 36-truck convoy carrying various commodities, including food and diesel, that had stuck in Tulo, has also since reached its destination. Our various Azimio leaders have today attended the burial service of Phyllis Mutedia, who is the mother of Embakasi South MP Julius Mawethe. Phyllis died at the age of 92 after suffering from diabetes for a long time. She has been buried in her home in Mwala, Machakos County. During the burial event, Azimio leaders continued their discussions on the issue affecting Kenyans, with their leader Raila Odinga claiming that President William Ruto has failed in his mandate and criticizing him over the rise in the cost of living. Our reporter Nicholas Kivite with more.
They should not touch my salary again on the useless housing levy. Na wakiguza misara yangu wapeane housing levy, watarudisia mimi kwa M-Pesa. Ama nitachukua kazi pale bungeni.
Speaking at the burial ceremony of the late Phyllis Mutedia in Mwala, Machakos County today, the opposition leader Raila Odinga once more addressed the issues affecting Kenyans, claiming that President Ruto has failed them. He has further continued his onslaught on the president over the government-to-government oil deal and the plan to privatize government institutions, claiming that is a plan to rob Kenyans.
Swaliba, lakini imekoma kwa koo. Mekoma kwa koo, haiteremuki, unajaribu Sasa wanaanza sasa kuuza shirika ya serikali, wanataka kuuza mashirika makampuni ya serikali. Ile kampuni ya kusafirisha mafuta Kenya Pipeline Corporation wanataka kuuza, National Oil Corporation wanataka kuuza, nataka kuuza KICC na KCC, yote wanataka kuuza. Sasa bomba ya fereji ndio barabara ya kuleta mafuta ndani ya nchi. Ulimwengu mzima hakuna nchi ambayo imeweka hiyo chini ya mkono ya watu binafsi. Maana bei ya mafuta itapanda kwa ile kampuni ambayo itanunua hiyo shirika.
Concerning the bipartisan talks between the government and the opposition, Odinga said that he is not satisfied with the report on the talks, since the government ignored the issue of lowering the cost of living.
Bunge imekuwa hanisi sasa. Sasa wanasema bunge imeweka sahihi ya kwamba wanaweza kuuza kampuni yote bila kuliuliza idhini ya bunge. Sasa kila wanaweza kuuza tu hivi. Maana bunge sasa hakuna chochote naendelea. Wakileta mambo yao, wale wabunge wengine wanakwenda kukunywa chai, wengine hapa ndio anasema put the question. Wapige kura. Alafu nini? Bunge sasa ni bunge hanisi.
On his part, the Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has claimed that Kenyans are fed up with Ruto's dictatorship, while asking Kenyans to be careful in the upcoming elections and ensure that they do not repeat the 2022 mistake.
People are missing real leadership. People are feeling the weight of dictatorial leadership. People are feeling the weight of politics of deceit. Udanganyifu wa kiajabu.
Kalonzo has further castigated the government for the plan to sell government institutions, saying it goes against the law.
Tujihadhari kabisa, wacha mambo ya KICC where your offices are, or Kenya Pipeline Corporation, which is actually a very important national strategic and security installation. Wacha na hiyo. Wameanza kuuza hewa than even last year. Wacha niwaambie kizungu bana. And can I tell Kenyans, tujihadhari kabisa, wacha mambo ya KICC where your offices are, or Kenya Pipeline Corporation, which is actually a very important national strategic and security installation. Wacha na hiyo. Wameanza kuuza hewa. What have I said? Hewa ya Kenya, you know there's carbon sink and the climate change negotiations which is now going on in Dubai. Hewa ya Kenya ile carbon sink, misitu yetu, Kenya National Forest Service, and wherever there's a forest, tayari imenadiwa.
Reporting for Op Newswatch, my name is Nicholas Kivite.
And Azimio la Umoja diehard supporter Nuru Okanga has been charged before the Milimani Law Courts for allegedly discrediting the reputation of President William Ruto. This comes after the suspect who recently caused a storm on social media after sitting for the 2023 KCPE exams was arrested for allegedly publishing a controversial video about the president on his YouTube channel on the 20th of November this year. Appearing before Nairobi Chief Magistrate Lucas Onyina, Okanga was freed on a 10,000 shilling cash bail ahead of pre-trial hearing on the 13th of December this year.
Political commentator and Azimio staunch supporter Nuru Okanga has been charged in court for allegedly publishing false and calculated statements aimed at discrediting the reputation of President William Ruto. The 32-year-old, who recently caused a storm on social media after sitting for the 2023 KCPE exams, is the main suspect behind a viral video with the caption "Nuru Okanga on fire," where he allegedly uttered unprintable words deemed to demean the head of state. The Bunge la Wananchi member, however, appeared before the Milimani Law Court and denied the charges against him.
Tarehe 20 mwezi wa 11 mwaka huu, pahali hapajulikani Kenya, mkiwa na wengine ambao hawako mbele ya koti, mlitumia mtandao wa YouTube ambayo ni Riba News ama @Riba News kutoa kanda ya video iliyosema na nukuu, Nuru Okanga on fire, Ruto you're stupid, an idiot.
Okanga urged the court to release him on reasonable bail terms, saying he would abide by all conditions set by the court.
You are an idiot.
The prosecution did not oppose Okanga's bail application, granting him a cash bail of 10,000 shillings. City lawyer Emmanuel Kibet, who represented the aspiring politician, also told the court that Okanga was married with 3 children and was therefore not a flight risk.
He's a family man with 3 kids. He's the sole breadwinner for his family. I pray that he be released from the Muslim and cash bail with an option of bond.
Okanga was arrested on Wednesday by officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI, and the case is set for pre-trial hearing on 13th December 2023. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
An African International University, AIU, has appointed Reverend Dr. Nelson Makanda as its new Vice-Chancellor. In a statement, the chairman of the University Council, Dr. Nelson Korea, said Reverend Dr. Makanda will begin his tour of duty in January 2024. Dr. Korea said Dr. Makanda brings the skill set, the relational and social capital and passion needed for transforming the Africa International University into a premier and global international university. Dr. Makanda is the current General Secretary and CEO of the Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, EAK, and has over 25 years leadership experience in church, para-church organizations, and community. He holds various portfolios at the AIU and acquired his PhD from the institution. Let's take a short break here on Hope TV Newswatch. We'll be back with more news items after these messages.
Je, ushawahi kuweka jambo kwenye mizani? Ushawahi kupata uzito wake? Haya basi, usitapetape zaidi. Naomba unigande, maana mizani ipo hapa kwa ajili yako.
Vyakula na mbegu za kitamaduni.
Na kutuliza fikra na kukuwezesha kupima masuala ibuka katika jamii. Tena kwa busara. Tukutane mizani kila Ijumaa saa 1 machweo kwenye runinga ya Hope TV.
My best part about being a Hope FM listener was Hope through the night. My radio was always on at night, just worshiping and getting the sermons on the top of every hour, and it really made me a stronger worshiper. It made me a stronger worshiper. My best part about being a Hope FM staff has to be treasure hunt with the boys and girls every Saturday morning, being Auntie Rhoda. Oh, I just loved teaching the children. There's a child who wrote in her composition, she was writing about her family, and she wrote one of her aunties is Auntie Rhoda. I was so happy because I'd never met her, but they knew me as their auntie, and just teaching them in the ways of the Lord. So I really thank God for every moment I spent at Hope FM, and even for now, being impacted as a listener.
It's finally here. The breakfast show that will kickstart your morning with a message of hope, coupled up with wholesome music, and of course, captivating conversations that matter to you.
We shall touch on topics on law, relationships, the Christian walk, and in addition, we will also be keeping you up to date with news and all the trending topics.
Join me, Beatrice Watare,
and me, George Gishuru, every Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Hope at Dawn.
Only on Hope TV, where you look
and live.
Welcome back. The Kenya Pipeline Company, KPC, has donated 3 million shillings through its foundation to the Dorcas Rigathi Foundation's Boy Child Rehabilitation Program. The program, which runs across the country, is aimed at creating a healthier and stronger generation of young boys. Speaking during the check handover ceremony held at the office of the spouse of the Deputy President, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, KPC Managing Director Joe Sang said the intervention to support the program is part of KPC Foundation's mission to empower communities and transform the lives of the boy child through treatment, rehabilitation, and ensuring their physical health and well-being is prioritized. While receiving the donation, Pastor Dorcas said empowering the boy child will inherently contribute to the well-being and empowerment of girls as well.
So when the boy child is endangered, that means the entire chain in terms of procreation, the future generations is impacted. And therefore, Your Excellency, what you are doing for this country and for the region and the world is significant. We've come in this morning with a small contribution of 3 million shillings, but we want to assure you, and I know the chair will speak more about it, we want to assure you that this is just the beginning.
As you may know, to dignify a man is actually to dignify a community. Many people that say that once you fund or you invest in a woman, you invest in a society. But I also believe that if you are going to have a balanced family and a community that is thriving, that has power to procreate itself and to have generations coming, you have to invest in a man because he's the seed carrier. And for the longest, we have seen that this young man, the dignity has been stripped off. They are the same people you will find in the parks just sleeping, greasy, and nobody really pays attention. They are just carrying many bags, rucksacks. We find them, they are dirty, they are carrying plastics. You see them, and nobody pays attention in all those parks, outside, everywhere, even in your own estates. You find they are the ones who are scavenging in in your garbage, but nobody pays attention. And with time, there has been a great, crisis brewing within our country when everyone is keeping quiet.
And the 8th edition of Wealth Conversations kicked off this morning with financial experts urging Kenyans, especially the youth, to uptake investment and pension products and prepare better financially for the future. Capital Markets Authority Chief Executive Officer Wycliffe Shamia said savings, technology and capital markets have a huge potential to power the country's economic growth. I attended that breakfast meeting. Here is my report.
Financial leaders during the 8th edition of the Wealth Conversations breakfast meeting had a variety of thoughts that they feel Kenyans should implement in order to recoup their investments going into 2024. This is against a poor performance of the shilling against the dollar and the high inflation rates being experienced in the country.
Think about the sectors where
the dynamic interplay between the elements I mentioned, savings, technology, and capital markets, has the potential to reshape the financial landscape, drive economic growth, and empower individuals actively to participate in capital markets.
This year's Conversations Forum, themed the role of technology for savings and investments in Kenya, saw discussions on leveraging technology in the event and pensions uptake take center stage.
Just like other developing nations, the culture of savings has been a serious challenge. However, I think with the advent of technology, particularly in the form of innovative financial technologies or fintechs as we know them, they have created a big improvement.
The focus on the performance of the country's economic outlook and the shilling against the dollar was the starting point of the conversation as inflation rocked the country in 2023 due to the high cost of basic commodities.
So every day you need to wake up from a house, every day you need to eat, every day you need to move. So if cost of energy, cost of housing, cost of food remains elevated, even though the overall inflation trends in a decelerating manner, there's a likelihood the cost of living remains sticky up.
Kenya's economic growth is, however, expected to surge in 2024 despite showing economic expansion this year. Delegates who attended the meeting called on the government to instill measures to further strengthen the efforts of the private sector in providing investment options and systems that will cushion them against the adverse effects of the exchange rate and inflation.
The 1.6 trillion in pension funds has been tied. In fact, I was happy to hear that figure, 2/3 in bonds and and treasury bills. Now, what that happened is money is not circulating. It's like if Melsa had 1 million, you put the whole of it in the bank. For fixed deposit, your family will starve. You have money in the bank, but you can't use it.
What we are doing to secure your money is also to provide you with alternative investment avenues, such as real estate investment trusts, where we are the only bank in Kenya currently that actively is supporting all the listed real estate investment trusts. So that's also providing you with avenue, because we know Kenyans love property, and what we are doing is providing you with avenues that enable you to invest in property.
It was a great conference because it highlighted the importance of these three key areas of financial stability. It also talked about how technology can be used to be able to accord opportunities to different players in the sector.
We've got very many products and services that help our customers to save for their retirement and also to save for their other goals and needs.
For OpTV Newswatch, I'm Melissa Oduor. All right, Vincent Lomor Esekon and Victor Ekai Ewit of St. Calvin's Secondary School in Turkana County have been crowned Young Scientists of the Year. The two were recognized for the best innovation at the 6th Young Scientists Kenya National Science and Technology Exhibition, which was held at the EDGE Convention in Nairobi as part of the Kenya Innovation Week. The two is innovation, making of an avocado shoe polish, seeks to reduce the impact of the ecosystem compared to some synthetic polishes, as avocado-based polishes are usually biodegradable and environmentally friendly. Both Lomor and Ekai will receive a full tertiary scholarship for STEM courses, as well as get a chance to participate in the 2024 BT Young Scientists and Technology Exhibition, including in Dublin, Ireland. According to Education Principal Secretary Dr. Belio Kipsang, students from both public and private schools in 38 counties presented their projects for the awards, which were sponsored by Safaricom.
So at Safaricom, the reason we do this is because we believe our vision is about transforming lives. Recently, I don't know, for those of you who saw in the media, we launched our youth platform. We're calling it Safaricom Hook. And the reason we are doing this is because we see a great opportunity in leveraging technology to open up opportunities for the young people. Technology flattens the world. So in Safaricom Hook, we decided we are going to engage the youth. And what they told us is that they would want us to support them in 3 areas. The first one, which is why we are giving away smartphones, is access to that technology. Getting the right devices, access to the internet, so that they may be able to do what they do best.
Following the African Climate Summit, this year's exhibition focuses on developing sustainable solutions for climate change, further demonstrating the youth's vital role in providing hope for science, technology innovation in our nation's development trajectory. Today, Kenya and the world stands at crossroads of an ever-changing world that is facing many pressing challenges, but through science, technology, engineering, mathematics, the youth become the key enablers of sustainable development goals, realization of the Vision 2030, as well as the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe that the transformative power of science, technology, innovation plays a central role in creating knowledge-based economy and generating employment opportunities and fostering sustainable development.
And the Seed Trade Association of Kenya, STAC, has advocated for accelerating agricultural production and productivity through partnerships, innovations and use of quality seeds during the 11th Annual STAC Congress, Expo and Mazo Forum 2023. Agriculture and Livestock Development Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi said agriculture is fundamental in achieving high economic growth, reducing poverty and hunger in the country. STAC Chairman Wellington Wasike expressed satisfaction with the progress in self-regulation implementation, citing the addition of more than 35 seed inspectors and over 15 seed analysts. Wasike stressed the need for collaborative efforts among all stakeholders in the agriculture sector to foster emerging novel technologies, ultimately increasing agricultural productivity and ensuring food security.
Issues around information to do with what is available in terms of what is available in the basket of seed. You know, you can have seed, yes, but the farmer doesn't have information. So issues around extension, what we're also trying to have a conversation around. We know that now extension is getting strongly privatized. And as industry stakeholders, we are very keen to leverage onto that and even play a more frontal role on that. The other bit which we are discussing and talking about is the issue of protecting the farmer from seed that are not as good as required. Traditionally we call that fake seeds. So we are discussing, and we are happy that stakeholders came together to work out a novel formula on how to protect the farmer from fake seed by introducing what we call a sticker label through the regulator. Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service has come through working with the stakeholders to introduce a sticker label. This sticker label you scratch and send to a number, and it will give you a feedback whether that seed is genuine or whether that seed is fake.
Challenges to do with cess, number one, it is arbitrary because it is not consistent. And then even in terms of documentation, sometimes you pay cess, but you're not given any accompanying document to show that you've actually paid. So in terms of accountability, we have had discussions, and now we are engaging the Council of Governors, and we are hopeful that in the next course of action, it was for this to be addressed. Remember, just like the chairman said, the counties are also looking at on-source revenue. How do they generate resources? And also the seed companies are also saying, when you have cess, then it means the cost of doing business is going to be expensive.
Into some regional news now. Australia is facing an increased risk of bushfires during the approaching summer, with authorities warning that the El Niño weather pattern is expected to generate hotter and drier conditions across large swaths of the country. Massive bushfires are already raging an unprecedented spring heat wave in the country. According to Australian Department of Fire and Emergency Services, the wildfires have broken out in the Western Australia amid extreme heat and are expected to remain uncontrolled for several days. Last week, a destructive bushfire in Wanneroo, part of Perth's northern suburbs, consumed 1,700 hectares, leading to the confirmed loss of 10 homes. To some sports now. Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba has launched the Mwanariadha Pension Scheme, a pension fund, the first of its kind pension fund for athletes upon completion of their active years in sports. The initiative was drafted by Athletics Kenya AK in partnership with CPF Financial Services in a bid to forge a sustainable future for athletes upon retirement. Speaking at the launch, CS Namwamba lauded the initiators of the scheme alongside a set of partners that had so far plugged in, pledging the full support of the ministry. That's how we wrap up Newswatch tonight. I've been your anchor, Melissa Oduor. On the sign language is Boniface Moredi on behalf of the production team. Have a good night.